except for that Seattle game, seems like the last few games they had trouble generating. Are you getting the chances? Or
That's a good question. I feel the Philadelphia game, we had the chances. I mean, look, when we're trying to push, Larks has the open net, rolls off his stick. We had our looks. Even the two power plays, we had a face-off play initially with backdoor top-in opportunities. I think it's a reality. I mean, we had trouble creating offense with pre-injury / deadline. So I think we have to simplify it. We probably have to produce a little more simpler offense and just get to the hard areas. It's a reality of it. You saw practice today. A lot of it was centered around that. So, yes, offense is an issue. I think it starts with our power play. Even that streak we had with all that winning, it was offense by committee and the power play. So I think it's got to look like that again.
What do you need to see from Dominic Cooley to look more like? I mean, this offense he had at the start of the season isn't going to be sustainable, but just to resemble that a bit more.
Yeah, I think assertive with his offensive game. I think when he was scoring early on, head down, puck was going to the net, shooting with authority. Now you can see maybe at times when he's not at the top of his game, he thinks it through too much. Is he a pass first? Is he shooting it? I just think a little more for him, being a shooter, a little more tunnel vision on his offense. And again, we keep showing guys and some learning and some teaching, just getting some inside positioning. It's a simple thing. It probably goes unseen a lot, but getting to the inside, middle lane drive, just you'd be surprised. All of a sudden, one or two more battles where you get to the inside, your looks just are a little bit different. That's going to be our message for the entire group going forward here. And again, I know I've already mentioned it. A lot of practice was that today.
The two righties on the flanks of the power play with Toronto. How do you decide who's where, and do you ever look at getting ringed on the other side?
Yeah, I think in time, we try to align those hands. Losing Sonny, I mean, he was a natural right shot, goal line. I actually like Chase on. He's done it his entire career, but different times, different looks. I think a little more experience with DP, going downhill. I mean, all power play units will have different looks, flank, one-timers. We'll go through different looks. I think you can create offense from both ways. That downhill look and that back pass is tough to defend, and there's different looks. So we'll probably use a lot of guys on different looks. We've been talking about even maybe getting DP on the goal line. One, his stick is remarkable. Two, he's very willing. Some of those goals we've created of late is DP taking the goalie's eyes. So there's something we'll play around with over the last 20 games here.
Derek, you alluded to the power play. I mean, what's caused it to sag here lately?
Yeah, it's just, I think it will go through streaks like that. It is what it is. Personnel-wise, simple thing as face-offs. Winning those face-offs, getting that zone time. What it can't do is cost us. And that Ottawa game, 1-1, shorty, we're down 2-1. This Philly game was really tough to watch back. We were okay in the first, but we had our 1-0 lead. Our best hockey was the first 6 minutes of the second period. We easily could have extended our lead 2-0, 3-0, and it would have been, potentially a comfortable game for us. And we earn our power play, and we give up an easy one on the power play. So probably just basics, opportunity to work on it. Like anything in offense, you simplify it. I think it gives you a little bit more success.
It's late in the season, but what can a veteran like Chase on add? He seems like he's a pretty
reliable guy. That's a great. I liked him in practice today. He looks like an NHLer. Reliable. He had a good weekend for us. I really didn't know what to expect. I've been very happy with him down in GR, and he did what we asked of him. He managed the puck. He was fine on the power play. I liked that line. It gave us some push. It didn't never hurt us. The Suter line with him on the wing and Ernie. So now we can grow. I mean, he had a couple of opportunities to make plays that I think settled down a little bit, he would make now too.
In baseball, towards the end of the season, they bring up guys from the minors and let them play. Would that work in hockey?
Well, you only get the 4 call-ups,
Okay.
so there's some rules to that. So we got to be, selective with that. I think we may have already used one with Berger, and technically he was called down, called back up for he could potentially be eligible for the playoffs in the American Hockey League if they're able to make it. So we got to be smart about it, but I think a little different than the other end. We want to play some of our young guys. Obviously, we want to give them opportunity in significant roles. Even some of the Bergerins of the world, Valinos, you saw their minutes increase to 14, 15 over the weekend. What I'm a little more excited about, this is our team now. There's no doubt the boys felt sorry for themselves. Is it right, wrong, or indifferent? I think it was more of a reality. It'll be my job to get them out of that. We are not going to go through the motions over these 20 games. We are going to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. This lineup is not much different than the beginning of the year, and we were extremely competitive. I get it. There's 5, 6 guys out of the lineup pre-Rass injury, deadline. But this weekend, for example, those games were extremely winnable. We led the Islanders going into the third, did not manage it, and I just explained how that Philadelphia game was there for the taking. We need to improve in those situations. That's on me to get the group motivated to stay on track here. But there is something to now that our lineup's settled. We know what it is. These are 12 forwards. These are 7D. Because of the rule of only having 3 more call-ups, this is where we're at. Hopefully we get some rhythm with that now and find ways to win some tight games like we could have on the weekend.
It would be difficult to just fit them in and the chemistry and all that.
Yeah, we're finding that. I think once we get that and we'll get a feel for it, guys getting their roles, even the penalty kill. We took 2 of our top 4 guys out of the penalty kill. Other guys will get in those roles, get comfortable with it. Same thing with the power play. That's my point. We're going to get some rhythm of this is our group. Guys can slot into the roles. We'll start managing our game and hopefully play some winning hockey here.
Derek, all season long we've talked about how resilient a group this is, and obviously after the trade deadline, some injuries, it's a different team.
Yep.
And you brought up this feeling sorry for ourselves. Okay, it's time to draw the line in the sand and move forward. Yet, how difficult is it to do that? I mean, have you a gauge on this team? Are they still in that feeling?
That's a great question. This is different. It's a reality to it. I just alluded to this lineup not being much different than our lineup beginning of the year, but obviously we're playing, we're pushing. There's a little bit more of a different goal in front of you. And obviously, again, 10 days ago, we literally beat the Rangers. We're above the playoff line with games in hand, and it's flipped in a hurry. I understand some of that feeling sorry, and it's still there. It was there in the weekend. And as disappointing as it was, we talked about it, tried to snap the guys out of a little bit. I understand the reality of it, but now it's time. Like you said, drawing that line. So I'll get a better feel of where it's at, hold guys accountable in different ways. We do get 3 call-ups, maybe some young guys pushing for positioning, pushing for their job. And again, as frustrating as it's been over the last 8-10 days, we had 3 unbelievable core signings. That should be exciting. A lot of our core going forward is still within that room. So there's a lot of things to build on and work on. It's up to us as a group to find that.
You mentioned Rass's injury. The fact that he's out, does that amplify how good he's been for the
Yes,
team?
100%. Everyone's going to talk about the obvious trade deadlines, the Bertuzzis, Hronek, Sonny, power play guy, top 4 penalty kill, was playing excellent pre-deadline, but that injury, I'm not going to say started, knock on wood, that slide, but I don't think people appreciate what he brought us on a team that's not built heavy. He's competitive. He drove that line arguably, him, Kopp, and David Perron had some chemistry. They loved playing with each other. There's some games they took over by themselves. Him and Kopp were 1-2 out on the penalty kill. Not only were they executing, they took so much pride in it. They wanted 2/3 of the penalty kill. They wanted that as part of helping the team. So, yes, but again, the exciting thing is Rass showed, I think, the kind of player he can be, and will be a very exciting piece of that quote-unquote core we talked about next year too.
Is there any kind of update on what he's going through, or?
Lower body, I do not see him available the rest of the year. So.
But you expect him to be ready for training camp?
Correct.
The hard offense that he kind of brings, like how much is that something you guys need to, not just getting him back, but like add?
Well, the good thing about this stretch, there's things I think, of course, we can improve on. And that's an area I think we need to improve on. And I think it can be. It can be a learned behavior. It can be a habit. And the good thing is there's a lot of players on our current team. It's not natural for them. I think if they can get out of their comfort zone and learn how to create some of that hard offense, it's going to be good for them going forward as individuals and as a group. So it's one thing of many, obviously, as we can improve on, but that's one thing I really think we can dig into and improve on as a group. Thanks, guys.